Hi everyone, this is Eman Castro, Group 5's representative, and today I will show you on how our group managed to create our first blog site. We will take a look on the codes and its function step by step and simultaneously show the output of those codes. So we use Atom.io as our HTML editor program. It's here. With blog site, we use three coding languages such as HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript as well. Let's go and check those codes, what it does, and how it does look like on our web page. Okay, um, on the screen you can see our web page open on the browser. It's right here, and on the right part of the screen you can see the Atom app, the one that we use to do our coding. The title of our blog site is The Evolution of the Filipino Cuisine. As you can see, it shows right here. The title is showing on our browser itself. Now, on Atom, inserting a title looks like this. You are going to use the title element, enter the title you wanted, and don't forget the closing element. After that, we also use the meta charset UTF -8 as the long coding language. We use the style element as well to add background color, margin, text alignment, the font style or the font family, the font weight as well, and to add border from on the bottom and the top. Okay, we also use some attributes like solid, and we also use the hexadecimal code for the color. Under this the style, we also added the style for our H1 or our header one. Okay, and here are the attributes that we added here. Okay. We use hexadecimal color code, which we got online on google.com. Just type in hex color picker, okay, and the browser will show it like this. Okay, so it's like this, and then you just set what color you wanted. You try to pick it up, and then you just get the hex code here. So there. We also use the style element to give styles like here, the align, text align, the color, the font weight, the font size, the font style, okay, and such. Okay, we also added word spacing, text shadow, and text decoration. There's none, and there we also use text transform to uppercase. All right, everything that we use. All text that we use the H1 or the header 1 element to. Alright? Now, as you can see, we also incorporate image slideshow on the top of our web page. Our group research on how we can add this feature on our web page. We learned that we need to use not just HTML 8 elements, but as well as CSS and some JavaScript codes in order to make the slideshow work. Here are the CSS coding that we use. We start with .myslides, okay, and then the image, the bracket code, and then we use vertical align to make it stand on the middle and stay on the middle of the page, right? There. Now, please take full note of the coding or the comment that we place on our HTML codes. And since we are using CSS on these set of lines, all right, the comments code starts with this dash followed by an asterisk, and then the text you wanted, and then closed by an asterisk, and then the slash. Okay, the CSS codes are this dot slideshow container, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Now the CSS coding is really important to properly set up the styles and design of our slideshow. We close the CSS coding with um, the style code, just like this. Okay. So that we can now use the HTML coding back again. All right. Now we start again for our web page. We use the header one element h1. The styles are already given. All right. Above right here. So here we already set it up there. So now we just enter the text and then close it with the H or the header one closer, and it will look just like this. Okay, so every time you use the H1 element, it will show, or it will look like this. Okay, style will be that way. Now on our coding, okay, uh, we use the element div, okay, or the divide block. All right, why do we use that? We use this especially on the slideshow, okay, to set up a different or a separate style for it. Okay, now with the divide block element, we use the class my slides fade, all right, which were used here on the CSS. And then we use the image element, the source of it, the attribute source, alternate name. We set up the height and weight or width of the figure, or the image as well. We also use the divide class attribute text, and then we entered the text here, as you can see. So it's Noche Buena. Now once we slide it to the next, it shows the Chan, and then the image, and then a different image would have the Fiesta caption. Okay. We also used a JavaScript. Okay, and it starts with the code or the element script. All right, but we're not going to dive deeper on JavaScript itself to avoid confusion, but at least let me show you what it looks like on Atom.io. So it looks like this. And then we just close it with the script closed, okay, and then there. It is important to include the JavaScript codes here, which we just researched, in order for us to add the fading effect, okay, the borders, all right, and to make sure that the slide will work fine. All right, as you can see, there's also dots here, and these are also results of the JavaScript, okay, together with the HTML code and the CSS code that we did on top, okay, or prior. All right, now to start our web page article, we use the element h2 element to emphasize our subtitle. All right, so see, this is our subtitle, and then we use the element h2. So please take note of the ampersand NBSP, and then the semicolon. All right, that means that means space, or one space bar, and then the ampersand N dash, and then the semicolon means the dash here. So it will look just like this. Okay. Now we also used the ampersand EMSP semicolon. Now this is called the M space. Now this is to give wide space, typically as much as 4 real spaces. So instead of repeatedly using ampersand NBSP semicolon to add space, we use ampersand EMSP to say bits. Alright? Alright. Now, we close the paragraph, of course, with the paragraph element. Alright? We also open the paragraph with the paragraph element. After that, we use the BR, the break line element. Alright? Now, we use that to place gaps between two paragraphs, or between two articles. Alright. We also added images on our web page and place it on the right part of the page so that the text will be on the left part of the web page and the image will be on the right, just like this. Okay. We use the element img or the image, then place the source using the source art attribute, which is src equals to code and encode the file name .jpg. We also added attribute style float right. Okay, so it looks like this, float right. Why do we do that? We added that so that we can keep the image on the right part of the web page and not block the text no matter what the size of the browser you open the web page at. We use the image alt attribute to add alternative name just in case the image couldn't load. Then set the predetermined height and width of the image by using the height and width attributes. It's looked like this. So here's the alt attribute, and then the height and the width. So we just repeat the same pattern, all right, on all three articles here. So there. Now, as you also notice, we have hyperlinks here, or href, okay, which once you click that, a small window will open on top, right, that will show the picture. Okay, it will show the picture of the highlighted text. Okay, so once you click that, and that, and that, and that, that's an added feature on our webpage. So there. How did we do that? Okay, so on our unordered list, we start the element ul here, as you can see here. Start the element ul, and then followed by the li element for the list element, and then we use the a element. Okay, we incorporate the a element or the anchor element to use its href or its hyperlink attributes. Okay, I also use JavaScript window open attribute here, as you can see here. We also use that to make the image pop up on a small separate window upon click. So just like what I showed you earlier. So after that, we just repeat the process on all three articles, just like this here. Colonization era. So once you click that, you'll see adobo, paella, arroz caldo, menudo, and caldereta. So those are the images. Okay, now if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see videos. Okay, so we simply added iframe to add video on the codes on our web page. Right? How did we do that? It's actually really easy to do it. You just need to whatchamacall this. You just need to go to the YouTube page or the YouTube video itself, to the YouTube website, just like this. All right. The codes are readily available on YouTube. All right, on the embed function. Let me show you where I got it. Okay, so this is the YouTube page of the video. Okay, you just click on the share button, right? Then click on the embed button. It's right here. The code will show. All right, the code will show, and you just need to click copy and paste it on your HTML editor accordingly. As simple as that. So click on copy, and then it will look just like this. So on the element that was used, I use iframe, set up the width and the height, okay, with the attribute width and height, the source, okay, and the link or the URL. You added the title, then allow attributes, accelerometer, autoplay, clipboard write, encrypted media, gyroscope, picture in picture, then the attribute allow full screen. Then close it with the iframe element closer, and then put a BR or break line element so that it will look just like this. All right. So after this, you break the line, you added another video, and this is just show do it the same way the same way you did on the first video. Add a BR or break line so that the third video will be placed right under it. Okay, so there. So it's really easy, okay, to add YouTube videos on the web page by using the embed function of YouTube. All right. Now, on the bottom part, all right, the bottommost part of the page, we added citations here. Okay. We start with our H2 element, but we also added the attribute style text align right, right, to make sure that the text, all right, will be on the right hand part of the page. All right, okay, since this is citations, so we do it, we styled it that way. Okay, and then we started to we also again do the unordered list, all right, to place bullets. And then we also incorporate the style attributes on the list, or the list element, all right, to keep the text on the right, on right aligned. All right, then we place a break line here. Now, if you can also notice, we have three icons here: the Facebook icon, the Twitter icon, and the YouTube icon. All right, and then the copyright here, and make a blog site, and then our footer remarks here. All right, so there. How do we do that? We use the divide block element again, ID consent. All right. So in order for us to make sure that all three are aligned, all right, vertically aligned, all right. So we use vertical align middle, all right, just to make sure that all those three images are aligned. Okay, we use style, we use the source, of course, attributes, the alternate name, and then we set up the width and the height of each, okay, of each icon. All right, we set it up that way. So there, and then right under that, as you can see, it has some text in it. All right, so we did that with the paragraph element, and then you incorporate the style attribute, text aligned left font size. We set the font size to 10px, all right, 10 pixel. All right, and there. Then we just use the spacing. We just use ampersand emsp. In order for us to set the space, okay, on each text, all right, and perfectly aligned it, so that it will look like it is just right under the icon, okay. And then after that, we added these footer remarks, okay. We use the p element, paragraph element, and incorporate the style attribute to it, to set up the font size as well. All right, we do it that way so that it will be a little bit smaller, all right, compared to the other font size that we used on our paragraphs, as you can see here. Now, to end our element, or to end our HTML file, we closed it with the body closer. All right, so here we also end it with the HTML closer. All right, we also added the comment element with starts with the greater than or less than symbol, and then followed by an exclamation point. Don't forget, you add 2 dashes, all right, or hyphen, all right, and then followed by the text you wanted, and then close it with 2 hyphens, and then the less than button symbol. All right, so that concludes our HTML coding for our web page. So we do hope you like our group's blog site and learned something from it. All right, and that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and see ya.